Okay, welcome back everyone. This is part 2 of the Maggie Holmes swap that I'm creating, and I have all my swans made, and then I have all my flowers over here made. So I'm going to just jump right in, and we're going to finish up creating the rest of this swap. So we'll move this out of the way. I have cut, and I will go over how I'm going to make my packaging for it once we get done with the other pieces. So now I'm going to use this, and this is just a foam mat. I have I have a little kit here. These were bought off Amazon. These came with the kit. These were from my grandmother in her collection, and they're just like pins that you poke through. I think I'm going to use this size. Maybe the bigger one. Yeah. So you can use whatever you want, but this is how I'm going to do it. I also have a like die thing plate that you put it through your die cutting machine, but I'm just going to do it this way because I only have 4 sets to make. So all you got to do is take the ball of your stylus or whatever it is, and if you don't have one of these, you could possibly, where's my paintbrush? Yes. So if you don't have one of these, you could use the back of your paintbrush and it would still, I just made that black. Okay, make sure it's clean. Okay, not a good idea to do it with a dirty paintbrush. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna have to recut this one because, yeah, I don't want a black one. But that's all you do. So we're just gonna go around and around. You can spray these with water and it kind of helps, but I'm not gonna do that step because then I'd have to wait for it to dry. So I'm just gonna go around and around, and it's gonna fold and wrinkle, but that's okay. Once you get all of your flowers pressed, sorry about the shaking, set these over here. It might be better to spray the bigger ones down. I think I'm going to go get the spray bottle and spray the bigger ones, because this is thicker cardstock than normal. So once you get them all rolled like that, then you're going to flip it upside down and just push the center so that it folds like that. And then you're going to do that on all of them. We're even going to do this one even though it's the wrong color. Actually, I can just roll it this way because this side's clean and you won't see the other side. So this will be the back side, and once I assemble the flower, you won't see that. So see how it kind of like folds and it makes the shape of the flower. So I've kind of been playing around because I cut 2 out in pink and 2 out in white. And I've been kind of playing around with the patterns of these, and I'm going to mix them up so that they're all the same. So instead of doing them all one pink and one white, we're going to just mix it up, and it's going to be 4 flowers. So we'll do this one. I'm going to do all these pressings and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm done doing all the pressings now. And all you're going to do, we're going to move that aside. You're going to start with your bases. So we're going to do white, pink, white, pink. And then we're going to just opposite pink, white, pink, and white. And then go to the next size. So you're going to do these. Then these are going to get glued like this. I think, like, usually when you build your flowers you offset, but I think we're going to just glue these like perfectly the way that they are. You know what I mean? Like this will be the center petals. So I'm going to glue these. I'm just going to put a dab of glue in the center, and then I'm not going to offset these. I'm going to center them, but I'm not going to glue them down flat to that petal, if that makes sense. Because if you offset it, then that, see how it like, see the difference where you can see the white through that opening, and now it's like a shadow. It just doesn't look right to me. I mean, there's no wrong way to do it. If you want to do yours that way, if you have the same die and you want to build yours that way, go for it. But I just like the look of the white showing through the pink and the pink showing through the white. I just think that that is more appealing to the eye. To mine, anyway. Because you know the saying, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so. But since they're my flowers, I'm going to do it my way. Alright, and then to make this go faster, I'm going to use my hot glue gun. So, I won't reach that far, so I'm going to have to pause and bring it around. Okay, so I have my cord adjusted enough I can go ahead and do the gluing. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue in the center, offset this one, put another dab of glue, offset this one. And don't worry about your little stringies. They drive me nuts too, but you do that at the end. Then another dab of glue. And you offset this one. And then another dab of glue, and you're going to put your center in. And then I'll kind of flatten it a little bit, but not too much. And then pull all the stringies off. So here is my white flower. And I think I'm going to put, these are probably going to be too small. I'm pretty sure these are going to be too small, but we can try one and see. Yeah, you can't even see that. Oh, I didn't pick one up, that's why. Yeah, we're not going to use these. I'm going to use a pearl, like a flat back pearl. So let's get the rest of these assembled, and then I'll get the pearls. So dab of glue. The way this is set up is not friendly because of the way the camera is. Didn't set that one straight, so I gotta redo that one. Sorry guys. So offset, offset, one more. Then the center. And there's that. So I'm going to do the other two and get my flat backs, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have them all glued together now, and I'm going to attach my pearls. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue inside the center. and place my pearl inside there. On all four. And then we have 4 flowers made. And now is when you take your time to pull all the stringies from the glue gun off. And there we go. Flowers are made. Now for the bows. So I have cut my bows out, and I have never made this one before, so this is new to me. Pretty sure that you have to, let's move these over here. I'm pretty sure that it's got to go the dab of glue in the middle, and then you're going to fold one in, the second one in, and the third one. Or do you do this one and this one and then that one? Yeah, I think it goes like that. So then you do another dab. You don't want too much because then it's going to get too fat. Oops. Just hold, and now is when you would probably want to use one of your fingertip thingies so you don't burn yourself. I probably made this too fat, but okay. So then we're going to fold and do the same thing again. You could probably use wet glue too. I just thought that it might be easier to do it this way for filming. Get back on there. Okay, so there's that. I don't know if I did that right because it kind of looks funny to me. And then this goes on here, and then this. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Okay, so we're going to dab here. This one in the center. Dab glue here. Put it in the center. And then you're going to take this, and I'm just going to curl it. Put it in between. So possibly you do it like this. I hope you guys are seeing. I'm trying to stay in frame. I think that's how it goes. And then you can put your center. If you want to put a pearl or a rose, or push these up if you want to like give them shape. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. And then I think I can probably, I have like a rose. It's white, but maybe we can paint it black. Well, this isn't open, is it? Let's see. I don't even know where my knife is to open. Oh, here it is. Okay, so where is my tape? Oh, they tape this one up really good. Okay, this is not working out very well. And this is why my videos are not for children. You must be 18 to watch, because I don't want kids messing with these. Alright, so I think we could possibly put a... Oh, that looks good. I like that. So I'm going to paint one and see if I like it black because of the... Well, no, because it'll look good. I'm just going to leave it like it is and glue it on there. And that is going to be my bows. Yes, I like that. That looks really nice. So I'm going to make my other ones off camera and we will be back. Okay, so when I made this one, I realized that it's supposed to go in a certain direction. So the bow, when you're assembling the bow, let me finish putting this one together. When you're assembling the bow, you need to fold it with a bone folder, and it looks like it's going together better this way, and it's kind of made it more of a fuller shape, if that makes sense. So on this one, I tucked the center one in last, and I think that's wrong. So if you do it this way, but you know, it might be wrong, like how to do it, but we're not going to cry about it. We're just going to move on and do the rest this way. So you can kind of see how like this one's folded, then this one, then this one. So they're all shaped so that the things are going facing downward, if that makes sense. Like the little tabs are going down instead of up. So you're going to take your first downward one and put up first, then the next one, then the next one. So that's what I did on this one here, and I just think that the shape of it looks better to me. And then all the ugly on the inside, the center part, gets covered up if you put a big flower or something, a big center in the middle. So you do the two bottom, then you do the center, then you do the two top. Let that dry for a second. Then you do the top. And then your bow is shaped better. I like how that is shaped. And you see how all that is messy? Even when you put your like piece in the center, it still kind of looks messy. But it's going to work out. Trust me. So I'm going to glue this down on here. And then I'm going to glue the spot in the center to hold this in place while I'm folding. Fold and tuck. And then push this and this. Glue here. You don't need a lot of glue. I just want to make sure that it is stuck and it doesn't come apart. Because nobody wants a bow that's going to flip up and just get all out of the way. And then your big old pretty rose in the center. So you can see the shape difference between these two and this one. This one is just a little wonky, but like I said, it's okay. We're going to move on. We're not going to cry about it, and it's going to work out just fine. And then to curl it, I curled these two and I think it helped. So I just go this way with my bone folder. Then I do the center one. Then I do this one. You don't want to curl it too much because then you'll rip the paper. So just keep that in mind. It's not a ribbon. It's not satin. It's going to rip. It's not like the stuff that you use for your gifts. I've been picking glue off and it's going to drive me nuts until I get it all off. But that's how you do it. And I just use my wrist, twist, grab my thumb, and just do a twist with your wrist. I need a new bone folder. This thing is so old. I want a Teflon one. You know, it's one of those things like you put it on your wish list and you just never get around to getting it. One day I will. All right, so now you've got to figure out which way is facing down. So it's going to go this way because this one looks like it's a little bit bigger. So you could do this way, but I think it's bigger, so you want to do the ones that are facing down. The ones that are facing down, then the centers, then the tops. So if you have this bow, this is my first time ever messing with it. I have just figured out the formula on how to build it all by myself. You just play until you get it. And at the end of the day, it's just paper. If you mess it up, it's just paper. Just cut and make some more. Okay, and then this one. Then we're going to glue it to this one. And I'm making sure that this is the back side and the pieces that I'm folding in is the top side because there's no like indentation for the bow layers, if that makes sense. And then you decide whether you want the first one that is tucked in on the bottom or on the top. So it's up to you when you're using it as embellishments on your projects, which way you want it to face. So you could face it where it's like facing down. The first one is facing down, or the first one that's tucked in is facing up. Either way, it is up to you when you want to decorate. I personally like it down. I think it looks better that way. And then we're going to put this on. Then we're going to fold, glue, just put it down on the silicone mat till it dries. Grab another flower, big old glob of glue. I think the black ones would look good, but I think also because this is a pink and white gingham, the white ones look really nice. So what I would do if I wanted these black is I would get nail polish and I would just paint them with fingernail polish. Just an idea to use what you have. You don't have to have everything of every color. So like when I did these, like you can cut them out in different color papers. Or you can just use watercolor, crayons, markers, ink pads, whatever you have. All right, so now our bows are made. I've got, so on here we have 4 bows, 2 die cut shakers, which are these. And I'm going to finish these up. We're just going to use hot glue gun over here for now. We're going to use wet glue. Where did my wet glue? Here it goes. And I'm just going to pop the eye out. Just like that. And then I'm going to glue right along the bottom. And I'm going to set it right. Actually, I'm going to set it on the top. just like that. Then I'm going to put this one along the bottom. Should I glue the whole thing down? Nah. And then I'm going to put it like that. And then I'm going to add a bow up here, I think. I want to get one and see what it will look like. It might be too big. I have a white and pink gingham, so let me get it. Okay, so I really like how that looks. So my white and pink gingham, I'm going to hot glue on the very top of that. And this is just something that was gifted to me in an embellishment box. And I think it will look perfect right here. So just a dab of glue at the top. Tuck it down under the swan. And make sure you line it up at the top. And there is my shakers. And now I just have to pick off all the glue and make sure it's cleaned up. That's the part I hate, all the glue. It's everywhere. All right, and then for my Memdex, where did it? Here it is. For my Memdex, we're going to, so we have the bigger ones. These are the big ones, right? And these are the smaller ones, yes. So I want to use the smaller one right here. And then I want to put a swan behind it. So we're going to put this down first. And I'm going to use hot glue because of the acetate. But I'm only going to do like along the flowers. Like I don't want it too saturated, but I want it enough so that it won't come off. So here's my flowers. My boys are starting to get loud. I'm gonna pop the little eyeball out. And then for this, we're just gonna glue along the bottom. Tuck it in. See, I don't want to smear this on the acetate either. Get it about where I want it. And then I think I'm going to glue the head as well. Just glue it right there. I don't think I did it right. Okay. And then let that dry. So that's like the longest thing of this whole thing, is just letting the projects dry and set and get ready. So now I have, hold on one second. Okay, so now we're going to do like a checklist deal here. We have the Maggie Holmes collection is Bloom, 1 MDC right here. I'll put my information on the back. 4 bows, 2 die cuts, which we're going to do 2 swans, and then 2 sets of flowers. So that will be for my swap partner to use however they want as far as the die cut. Oh, multi-layered embellishments. That's what, okay. So let's start over. MDC, 4 bows, 2 die cut shakers. I'm probably not in frame either. Sorry. Okay, 2 die cut shakers. And then 4 flowers. The multi-layered embellishments, which are going to be these. Because you have to have 2. A crafter's choice item, which is going to be the card, and I'm making 2 because I'm going to give one to Bethany with a note. So what I'm going to do here is just use, where is my tape? Right here. So I'm going to use, I have this double-sided tape, and I'm going to put it on there, like that. Okay, and then make sure that we're putting it where the opening is at the bottom. I need to move this out of my way. We're going to center this. And that looks good. Then we're going to take the big one and we're going to put it right here. And we're going to take a swan and put right behind it. So there is my crafter's choice. So now I keep losing my glue. We're just going to glue along the bottom. This one I kind of want more glued down than on the MDC because it's going to be a card and we don't want it to fall apart on the person who is going to receive it. So we'll have to work fast and get the swan on. So now you see how I have it kind of saturated here? Enough so that it will stick, and then I'm going to do the swan as well before I stick it down. Okay, so then we're going to put that like that. Place this on here like that. Tuck and set this down like that. And there is my crafter's choice. All right. And then I'll make another one for Bethany off camera. And then we're going to work on packaging. Okay, so I have 2 of these made. And then now we're going to work on packaging. So to put everything in, I am going to just do a simple bag topper like this. I'm going to cut from whatever scraps that I have. And what I'm going to do, and it doesn't matter what color it is to me, because it's just going to be, excuse me, the background packaging. I hope that's making sense to you guys. So I think I'm going to use like this one. And all I have to do is decide how I want to package it this way, or do I want to package it this way? I think this way will probably work best. So I'm just going to cut that off right there. And get my handy dandy cutter. I can probably just fold it in half. I don't need to unfold the whole thing. I need to make room with all this stuff out of the way. Hopefully. 1 second. My boys are... Oh. Okay. So then you're going to cut your paper to the size of how you're going to display your projects. So this one I just cut down 4 inches, and it is 4 by 7.5. And then I'm going to attach these. I have removable glue dots. And that's what I use on all my projects because I believe it's better to have them stuck down a little bit so that they don't slide around, but yet the recipient can use them how they want. So there is that. And then we're going to, I think I can fit the bows on here as well. Do I want to do them this way? If I do them this way, then I could probably do the flowers as well. And then I just need to figure out, no, I'm going to do 2 different ones. I think there's a pink one that's just like this. It's pink, and this one is like a minty color. So I'm going to grab the, I don't know if I have a scrap piece in here. Let's see, I don't think I do. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Oh, it's just a smaller one. I don't think that's going to work. So we're going to use this, and then I don't think it's going to be enough to do unless I do it this way. Yeah, it's not going to work. Because I want to kind of, I probably should cut this one a little bit thinner. Because I could put it like this and use all the backgrounds the same. That's what I'm trying to get at. But I don't think that's going to work. So we're going to have to pick up a different background. So we will do these 2. Okay, I will do the flowers and the shakers with this. I'm just going to cut this down to another 4. Okay, and then, did I put that upside down? I sure did. No, this one's right side up, this one's upside down, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so then, let's see, I'm going to do like that. Or do I want to do it like that? Let's see, my die for my cover top is going to be, I'm going to have to cut these down a little bit more anyways, because this is not 4. Should have measured this, I guess, because this is going to be, I need it to be about 3.5. So we're going to take 1/4 inch off each side. And then I'm going to cut this one down 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I'm going to use this one, I think, for these, and then I'll do these 2 differently. Is that going to fit now? No. It's going to be bigger. Unless I keep the big one. Yeah, I'm going to just gift the 2 smaller ones because they'll fit on here. And I will use this one for my overall packaging, which we're gonna go over that in a little bit. So let me get my glue dots, and we will glue dot this one. I want to put this one down first because I want it closest to the bottom. And it only takes one glue dot to put your projects down. You don't want to overdo it, because then you'll potentially rip the project and then it won't be as usable to the recipient. So that worked out. I'm glad I didn't make the overall packaging, because I was going to gift one big one and one little one of the bunches of flowers, but this is going to work just like this. And they can still create whatever they want. And then we're going to tuck this little guy right down in there. And then we have room for our back topper. Okay. Next, we need to find, let's see, I want to use my scraps to do the backing. I really don't want to use full sheets of paper and cut them down. Pink, let's do this one. So we're going to go 3.5 by 7.5. No, that's not going to be, because this one was, yeah, 3.5 by 7.5. And this is not 7.5. It's going to be 6 3/4. But it'll work. Let's cut this banding strip off. 3.5. And 3.5. Alright, so now we're going to set our flowers, I think like that, and then one for the bows. Perfect. Alright, so let me get these down, and then I'm going to make bag toppers out of scraps as well. Get all this glue out of here and clean it up. This bow is like covered in it. There we go. Alright, so now glue dots. Another one. So I've been in chapter groups, and a lot of people are like, I do my packaging as I go. This is how I do mine, and there's no wrong way to do it, but some people hate it. I don't mind this part of it. It's the actual finding the box, making the shipping label, packaging it up so it doesn't get damaged. That's the part that I don't like, because you don't want all your hard work to get damaged in transit. So you gotta find bubble wrap, you gotta find tissue, you gotta find like the filler shavings or paper shred shavings, whatever you call it, to make it pretty, make it presentable, and make it safe to ship. And there's the project. I'm loving how this is working out on camera, so you guys can see like the whole process of how this is done. All right. I will also find a thing to put this on, which can I do that on here? I sure as heck can. And then I won't put a bag topper on it. Or maybe I will. I don't know. We'll cross that when we get to it. All right, so I'm gonna go cut these out. I need 4, 5 because I'm gonna do one of these. 5, 6 because I'm going to put one of these in a bag with a bag topper as well. So I will be back. I'm gonna cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these out in random scraps. Alright, so I have my helper over here. He's gonna cut me out these, and I decided to do these in the same pink iridescent, or not iridescent, shimmer cardstock that I did this on. So I have my bags. I'm going to put my projects in each one. And then I'm going to, gonna have to cut that down a bit. So let's cut it down 1/4 inch. And this one's gonna have to be cut down 1/4 inch. Alright, so now I think they will fit. 1/4 inch cut off. Oh, don't worry about getting all the holes cleaned out. Thank you though. Yeah, 1/4 inch will work off of that. So instead of it being 7.5, 7 1/4. And then I'm going to seal this up.
Mommy,
I'm recording. Okay, so there's how that's gonna look. I would fold that over, and then I'm just going to take some Scotch tape and put it like that. And I'm going to put this on there like I'm gonna have to push this down because that's too far up and I won't be able to attach that. So this is definitely a process, but I want to show you guys how this is done because a lot of people really struggle with this, and presentation is important. So we're going to slide these down as far to the bottom as we can to give space for the bag topper. Now sometimes I won't use bag toppers because it's just easier to put it in the bag and then put it in the package without doing this. But sorry about all the extra noise. I got both of my helpers in here right now. So yeah, and then I will staple that. And then I will make a tag saying Maggie Holmes Bloom or something. I will decorate the, I should have maybe made extra. Ooh, I might do that. Just make a bunch of extra of these to put on the bag toppers. I think I will do that. Yes. Alright, so I'm going to finish these up and then we shall be back. Alright, so now that I have decided how I'm going to do my packaging, I've decided not to do these. So now I have 6 back toppers ready to go for another project that's going to use pink shimmer paper. So I don't know what is all over this bag. It's like black or something. Okay, it's coming off. Whatever it is, I don't know. But it is coming off, so. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just package them without bag toppers. The reason being, I gotta put my information on the back, so let me do that first. because if I don't, I will forget. All right, so now we're going to work on the final packaging. Put this right side up, just like that. And fold that up and tuck it like so. All right, so here is the projects already made. So we have shakers, layered embellishments, flowers, bows, crafter's choice, Mendex. And what I'm going to do with these, I am going to build, so this was gifted to me, and I kind of took the measurements off it. I'm not sure what die this is, but I have taken the measurements and I have adjusted them because there's a space here and I don't want that space. I want the lid to just close up against the back. See how this has that right there? So Miss Diane made this for me, and I'm pretty sure it's a die because each layered piece has this like faux stitching along it. So, and I don't know whose die it is, but I really like it. And so I kind of thought, okay, I can recreate this without a die and use it. So I have all my pieces here, and what I'm going to do is show you how I've decided to make it. So here is the pocket front, the pocket back, just the bottom of the pocket. Yes. All right, so for the covers, I have cut out 4 matting pieces, and the matting, well, we'll do the matting later. All right, so cover is you're going to need 2 pieces of 6 by 5.5. So you're going to have 2 pieces of the 6 and 5.5. I need to move this gray mat so we can do the measuring, because you need to have it like the right direction. So like this one is got to be 6 and this is 6. So you need to cut 2 of these covers, 6 by 5.5. And I will have all these in the description box below so that you can create your own if you would like. Okay.
The round one.
Okay.
Not the little kids or the big kids. On the grown-ups.
Okay. Then you're going to, oh, this is the bottom pocket. Where's my spine? Sorry. Okay. So then your spine, you're going to cut at 6 by 2.5. So sorry about that. So 2 covers, 6 by 5.5, 1 spine, 6 by 2.5. Then you're going to score each one at 1/4 inch, or each side. And then what I'm going to do, I haven't folded these yet. What I'm going to do is just take my scissors and I'm going to cut an angle. Just cut it off. And this just kind of is going to attach it together, but it's also not going to have like that extra bulk. Then you're going to fold and fold. Then, where's my bone folder? Oh, I put it away. Then you're going to go ahead and do sorry about the banging sounds, but I have to do it so I can make sure that these are the right direction, because I want to make sure that it's the 6 and not the 5.5 direction, because it's not going to fit with the spine. So that's why I did that. Then what I'm going to do is attach these to the flap. You can put it on the outside, the inside, however you want. I like to do it this way so that I know I'm flush. So I'm going to put the tape on the inside. There is no right or wrong way. Right there. And you can do liquid glue or you can do this. This is the exact size, 1/4 inch. So everything will be on there. Probably would have been best to do this first and then cut the corners off, so that way I don't have this extra glue strip sticking out. So I'm going to take my scissors. These are awesome. These were gifted to me because I don't like my scissors getting gunked up with the adhesive. And these, it comes right off. And then it doesn't get gunked up. All right, and then I'm going to take these off. All right, and then I'm going to take these off and I'm going to put my covers on. So the best way to do this is align it up like this and then fold it over. So there is my spine on one cover. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. One second, I'm going to shut my door so you guys can't hear that. Okay, sorry about that. It's movie time, but they're out of my hair. Line it up and adhere it to it. So now there's the book portion of this. And if you don't like how this is, like it's a little bit offset, that doesn't really bother me, but it does bother some people. You can just clean it up and cut it off just like that. And that is how you clean it up. So there's the cover. I am not good at doing like tutorials like this because I kind of go all over the place. I should have probably given you all the measurements to cut out all of your cardstock. So this is cut out in an 80-pound cardstock that I use from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm going to do my matting pieces from the decorative paper from the paper collection that I'm choosing to use. So then for the pocket, you're going to need this is the sides. You're going to need 2 sides that measure 2.5 by 2 3/4. So you're going to cut that twice. Then you are going to need to score that at 1/4 inch on both sides, and you want it to be on the 2.5 inch side. No, 2 3/4 side. So on the 2 3/4 side, score it at 1 1/4 each side. Then you're going to want for the bottom of the pocket 5.5 by 2.5. Then you're going to score at 1/4 inch on the 5.5 inch sides. Then you're going to need a front and a back, and this is up to you how high you want it. So on this one, I basically used the same height. You can go all the way to the top if you would like, or smaller. It's up to you. I chose to do the same. The only difference is the spine is smaller than how it is on that book. So you're going to do a front and a back at 2 3/4 by 5.5. Then you're going to assemble it the exact same way as this. You're going to do your bottom and your front and back pocket. Then you're going to do the 2 sides. So I'm going to, let's set the cover over here. I'm going to do these here. I'm going to go ahead and put my tape down first. Then I'm going to cut the corner edges out. I'm going to squirt. And I'm going to squirt again. And then this is going to go just like the book. So you're going to basically be making a tiny little book. I need to cut the corners. Where's my little scissors? I'm losing all my stuffs. I put the cover over them. So then we're going to cut this, that. And there's that. Take this off, lay your pocket on, then lay your front on. Okay. And there is that. And if you want to do the same and make sure that it's even and straight, which pretty much looks like it's even Steven to me. So then you're going to do the same thing on the sides. You're going to glue or put your tape down. If you're using wet glue, then you can just go ahead and miter it. I think that's what it's called when you do this corner cuts on the edges. I think it's called mitering your sides. And then, well, that didn't work. Didn't get that up there far enough, but I'm going to cut it anyway, so it's just going to be a little spot that doesn't have it. Yeah. It will still work. All right. And then you're gonna fold and varnish. I don't know what that word is. And I do apologize for the glass banging. So now we take these off. And going to line up and do one side first. Oh, you know what? I didn't do it on this side. I should have made that a 1/4 inch longer. I think it's okay. We can still band-aid that. I've watched Bethany do a box style, something like this, and she basically took an extra piece of cardstock and just kind of went like that, and that's what we're gonna do. So guess I should have assembled this and tried it out first before doing my tutorial. All right, and then we need to get this one attached like that. And there you have it. So there's your box. And then it's going to fit inside here just perfect, I think. Oh, I might have made it just a bit too big. Yep. It's going to hang out a little bit over the edge. Just a tiny bit. Well, you live and you learn. We're going to decorate it up and make it work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut out the pieces, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've measured and I've cut out my little sides, and you're going to measure 1 7/8. So it's, yes, 1 7/8 this way, and then 2 1/2 this way. Then you're going to score it on the 2 1/2 inch side at 1 1/4. And then you're going to just stick it on the side, and that's going to close up that gap. And it won't like completely hang over, but you're going to put your matting piece over it, so that is going to get covered. You're not really going to see that. Actually, you are. Okay, that didn't work. Gonna have to redo this. I think I'm gonna cut this off like another 1/8 of an inch. And then I think it will cover. Yep, that works. Because now you're going to just cover right over it, and it won't be seen. So let's change that to 1 3/4. So you're going to cut 2 of those. Or you can make your pocket, or your side to your pocket, 1/4 inch longer to fold over. It's entirely up to you how you want to make it. But since I've already got it started, I'm doing it this way. So that is yes, like that. Why did I, oh, that's the, I was like, why is that the same size? Okay. And yeah, let me get this done, and I will be back. I am all kinds of messed up now.